What is going on, everybody? Welcome back. We get a little live before lock. I'll be honest with you guys. My flight back from Indianapolis was on Monday, and I was like, thank God, I'm getting in around 4 o'clock. That's just enough time to set up for live before lock. And then it's tough to do a live before lock with no basketball. And Reese is right. This intro does give you Saboner, which is a nice little intro too for today's giveaway. Like the stream, subscribe to the channel, do me a favor, put hashtag Saboner in there. We'll give away a rare tier card. Also, here you go. If you're new here, we have a little So Rare VIP action where right after the show, once this ends at 6:30, excuse me, we do a live after dark where we break down, we look at the optimizer, we take the first look at next week's slate, we get George up in there, but also we're giving away a Fred VanVleet tier 2, a year 2 rare card in the after dark today to make up for me posting the value hunting before, because normally you get value hunting before everybody else. But that's enough about the VIP. If you haven't signed up yet, go ahead, sign up, hang out with us. It's a good time. Speaking of good times, how are my guys doing? TST, what's going on with you, man? What's new?
I am itching for some NBA to get back, that's for sure. So I am pumped for this game week. I am pumped to watch some NBA basketball. Been diving into some college stuff in the past couple of days. I used to watch way more college than NBA. That's flipped the last probably like 5 years, I would say. But had to watch some college ball last couple of nights and been gearing up for March. But I'm happy to have some NBA back tonight.
Let me tell you, the Indianapolis folk were very excited for college basketball. There was some very drunk people at noon screaming. They were jacked up and ready to go. George, what's going on with you? You got a new video dropped over there for the Swingman pod, right?
No, tomorrow it's coming. Tomorrow I just got to finalize a few other things, and then this pain of an ass of a video that I've been working on for fucking ages is finally done, and I can see how many people will just be like, oh, it's not that good. And I'll be like, oh, okay, and cry myself to sleep. So,
yeah. Well, the teaser looks good. I'm in it. I also know that. So it's worth, selfishly, egotistically, I'll definitely tune in. Maybe scrub it just till I get to the part. But but looking forward to it. We'll drop a link for Swingman Pod as we get a little bit later into it. Wait, does this hashtag mean Sabonis is playing? Yeah, George, I kind of did this hashtag for you. I know you were a big fan of the Saboner nickname, or Sabone Bone. You're more Sabone Bone than Saboner.
Sabone Bone is always the guy for me. Yeah, Sabone Bone.
Yeah, there you go. All right, if this is your first time here, what we're going to do, I'm going to run through the injury news as fast as I can. We still have a lot of pretty big questionable tags, so I don't know how useful that's going to be. We might get some of this before we get out of here, but that Sabonis one is 10 p.m. Eastern game, I think, so kind of a worst-case scenario there. But I'll rip through the injury news, then we'll take a look at projections, and then we'll get into Q&A. So if you got a bunch of questions, just hold them and relax, okay? Let's get into some of this injury news. We're going to share the Underdog Fantasy site here. This is what we got right now. Luka Magic is probable. AD is probable. Donovan Mitchell got a little cold, probably a little vacation cold. He's questionable. Brandon Ingram is questionable. Sabonis is questionable. You can see the three of them were making out, all from illnesses. Jamal Murray looks like he's back in action. He's probable. Paolo Banchero was a part of that foursome. He's got an illness. Bradley Beal is still battling a hammy. He's got a Q tag. Cade looks like he's going to go. Hartenstein is probable. He's making his return. Derek Lively's back in action. KCP's probable. Isaiah Stewart punched Drew Eubanks in the face, and he gets suspended 3 games, which is hilarious. Josh did say Darius Bazley is back in action. Real quick, I'm actually going to pop over. Well, you won't see it. I'll keep this screen shared. I'm going to pop over to the Underdog Twitter handle because we get some more news here Paolo is playing. Paolo is in. There you go. Just got ruled in. Kyle Lowry is available to make his return. They did, and so is Nicholas Batum. Nick Nurse said the minutes are going to be monitored, which normally you'd be like, oh, it's probably only 20 to 25 minutes, but that is Nick Nurse, and he thinks everybody should play 50 minutes, so keep that in mind. Jalen Smith is back for the Indiana Pacers. I think that's it for the stuff that we have. It looks like Jimmy Butler is going to be back on Friday as well. So I think that's most of it. Again, the Donovan Mitchell stuff is pretty big. Because Darius Garland already somebody that's going to project pretty well. So that's kind of important. But I get either of you guys have a injury take or something that makes you excited, like big picture, the slate. George, you got anything before I pivot to TST?
I think none that is currently on the list right now. I saw Banchero got ruled in, which I think I was looking at him playing in my all offense or something like that. But I think the only one will be for me is obviously there's a lot of games at 3. There's a lot of teams that played 3 games this week. And I'm looking at the Clippers for that as a thing. I think we might see some Clipper rotation as well. So
okay, that's interesting. That's interesting. What about you, TST?
Just what George was talking about, how it's a longer slate for a weekend slate. So we got most teams have at least 2. Tons have 3 because the Tons are on a back-to-back tonight and tomorrow, and then play Sunday. I think there's one team that only plays 1 though. I forget who it is, but Miami. Yeah. So just based on all of that and the injury news that we have right now are all illness. Don't be scared to play those players, even if they have the Q tag and we don't get that news, because they're likely, if they're 50-50 to play tonight, they're probably going to play in one of those games at least. So those bigger names and such, I wouldn't be too worried about, except for maybe Bradley Beal, who I think I have in one of my lineups.
There you go. Yeah, Bradley Beal. Shout out Bradley Beal. Oh, Memphis only has 1 as well. There you go. Thank you, Alan. All right, we're going to dive into some of these projections over here in Momentum Labs. You can find a link to them in the show notes if you want to get behind that sweet paywall. We'll be using their projections. And you know what we're going to start with is Lindy Waters is projecting. And for those on social media, Lindy Waters the third came up a bunch. I'm not going to explain it, but if you saw it, you saw it. But here we go. We're going to start. We'll go through the
that should have been the giveaway.
I know. I honestly didn't know he was projecting until I just shared screen. We'll go over 0 to 10, and then I'll let you guys chime in every 10 or so. So here we go. We have Julian Phillips, a name I've never heard of before. He's going to cap a 5 and a projection at 9. Troy Brown Jr. of the Detroit Basketball Pistons has a cap of 7 with a projection at 12. You see Anthony Black. You have Alex Len. So if Sabonis is out, a lot of people made some buys today, I imagine, when Sabonis got called doubtful. Actually, this was last night, and all of a sudden, Alex Len, Trey Lyles, who's it going to be? Zeely saying, can you zoom out? Absolutely fucking not, buddy. Zeely, this is the zoom we're getting, baby. Alex Len, cap of 7, the projection of 21. That is totally dependent on Sabonis not playing. Then you see Dougie McBucket. Shout out our guy Sneeps. You must be excited. DeLon Wright, cap A with a projection of 12. Again, JaVale McGee. That's totally dependent on. I forgot McGee was on the Kings. Javon Carter.
I was just laughing.
I thought somebody said something. Cap of A projection of 14 for Javon Carter. And then the 9 range, we had Jordan Hawkins from the Pellies. The Pellies only have 1 game. I think they had more. Seth Curry is a cap of 9 with a projection of 13.5. And then when we get to 10, we get 2 guys. One we haven't mentioned, I don't think, once this year, and that's Taylor Hendricks, the rookie from the Utah Jazz. He's got a cap of 10 with a projection of 16. And then Micic from the Charlotte Hornets with a cap of 10, a projection of 15.5. LaMelo is still out. So that's kind of why those Hornets are projecting well. TC, start with you. Anybody in that 0 to 10 that you're excited about?
Delano Banton at 9. I kind of like he's got some run for Portland. It's kind of a, as usual, shit show over there. Don't really know who's going to be playing normally. But what I like about him is that he's a massive guard, so he can pick up steals and gets tons of deflections and probably pick up a blocker here, though. So if you're talking a cap at 9 and you pick up a couple stocks, you're on your way to having a good game week.
Yeah, I like that. What about you, George?
No, I don't like. In shock news, I don't really like anyone under the 10 cap. I know it's a 3-game week, so you can still kind of gamble on them. I think if I was going to do it, like even some of the names that are on there, like Mičić burned me, so I don't even. He's in one of my teams at the minute, but I begrudgingly am putting him in there. Javon Carter's burned me enough in the past. The only guy I'd maybe look to take like an outside play risk on would be if Cam Reddish comes back, because I think he's like a game time / questionable decision. They've got 3 games in the Lakers. Yeah. Maybe he gets one in the back end of those 2. So maybe that could be a play if you're like, oh, my lineup's not great. I'll throw the dice on a couple of guys. So that's how I'd see it. Oh, right, and DeAndre Jordan actually is someone as well that I would also do that, because there's 3 games and you never know with Jokic. It's just if they blow one of these teams that they're playing like the Blazers, the Warriors, and the Wizards. So there's a lot of scope for DeAndre Jordan to get a good amount of garbage time. So.
A couple of people asked about some play. Normally I save the questions till the end, but I double checked on Jordan Goodwin. He's projecting pretty poorly on a bunch of sites. I don't know Memphis's rotation right now. Oh, does Memphis not have no, they do have a game this game week, right? And there's no Scottie Pippen. So I don't really know. I maybe it's because they have 47 guys on 2-way contracts right now in Memphis. That might be why. And then Evan Fournier, I mean, listen, he got a cap at 9 projection of 11 or so. If you want to do it, you can do it, but I don't know. Oh, Taylor, boots on the ground in Denver, says Zeke Naji would get more garbage minutes than DeAndre. All right, let's keep
vintage. That's not vintage.
Yeah, it's not vintage. We want vintage. I get it. All right, let's keep moving. Let's go 11 through 20 here. See if anybody pops. You got Joe Ingles from Down Under. This is a cap of 11 with a projection of 13.5. Shake it off. Milton with a cap of 11 and a projection of 12. That range kind of sucks. We get up to 12. Christian Brown, I think with the 3 games, he pops a little bit here with a cap of 12 with a projection of 18. But I'm going to be honest, he's been kind of disappointing so far this year, but we'll see. Cole Anthony's fine, but this rate, here we go. Trey Mann, he's like the one Hornet you can count on these days. He's going to cap of 16, projection of 33. Again, even if you're like, oh man, that projection feels high, fine, call it 28, and that's still like a really good play. So Trey Mann's nice. Then we get to the 17 range. We got KCP. His caps come all the way down there. He's got a cap of 17, the projection of 23. Torian Prince with some Lakers missing, cap of 17 with projection of 22.5, and then Larry Nance Jr. That's fine. 18, you see Jose Alvarado, Duncan Robinson, and Peyton Watson are all fine. 19, Benny Math, baby. Benedict Mathurin's off the injury report, was fresh for All-Star Game weekend. He has a cap of 19 with a projection of 28. And then Trey Lyles with the same thing that I said about Subonbon. And then you got Dinwiddie making his Laker debut, but they've got all the guards there, so I don't know how fresh and sexy that is. And then TJ McConnell is always fresh and sexy, but he has a cap of 20 with a projection of 23. George, how do we feel about these 10 out of 20s?
Again, I really like Benedict Mathurin on here. I know he's only got 2 and not the 3 as the option, but Benedict Mathurin is like a favorite of mine as a microwave scorer. I say this, I don't own him. I like Koulibaly. He's got 3 games this week, and I don't mind KCP. He's in my contender, I think, at the moment, but I don't love the fact that he's had that like hamstring injury for a while, so I don't think he's gonna, like, if they don't need to play him, I don't think they'll necessarily run him out for extended minutes. So apart from that, Norm Powell is one of the guys I'd say on the Clippers sort of bench, where normally these are the sort of situations where you could see a Norm Powell game. So that's where I'd be looking at.
What about you, TST?
I bought a Trey Mann today.
Whoa. Yeah, all right. So, welcome to the Trey Mann Club.
Yeah.
Wait, actually, you know what? Hold on. We got a drop for that. That was not about Trey Mann, but it still works. Here we go.
Let me see your man hands, money.
His baby man hands. All right, there you go.
The other one was Benedict Mathurin. Aaron Nesmith is out, so he should get some additional time. And I don't think many people know this, but the last 3 Rising Stars MVPs in the week after All-Star game have scored at least 25 points in one game.
Wow, that's where did you find? Did you look that up?
Not many people know that because I just made that up completely.
Oh, right. Nice.
Tom is asking about Obi Toppin. Guys, I tried to tell you guys this for a long time. Obi Toppin just kind of sucks. Like, I know people are like, oh, get him out of New York and then he'll be fine. He just kind of sucks, guys. And I agree. I think this impacts Benedict Mathurin more than it impacts Obi Toppin. So, I mean, looking at top tier too, just to get another projection, he's got a cap of 16 and projection 18. So I don't really like it. Just of this range in general, it's weird because it feels like this is going to be a very high scoring game week all the way around, but I feel way more confident. I mean, obviously I feel confident in the guys that are like 28 and up, but I don't feel like there's a ton of great value. Like outside of Trey Mann, I don't feel great about anything so far from 0 to 20. So it does kind of, I don't know. And I don't know. Are you guys feeling similarly? Like, I don't love this range.
Yeah, it seems more like a high scoring week because of the number of games. So like,
yeah, right.
You can have a lot of people put up massive scores that are just like, really good players.
It's gonna be a week of one of those random guys that's no projections that has a game. I feel like that's where it's gonna come out of left field.
George, I hate to be this guy, but I think it's Jordan Poole.
The 1 week I don't play him, he hits the 50 mark. He has that there's some NBA executives that are going around saying it's the worst contract in the league, and he's going to show them all up. Okay, here we go.
I mean, listen, both can be true. Both can be true.
Yeah.
All right, let's go 20 to 30. Let's see if there's anything that's a little exciting here. In 21, we got Jordan Clarkson, cap of 21, projection of 26. His ex-teammate, Simone Fontecchio, even though you would say Fontecchio, cap of 21, the projection of 24. And then Big Dick Nick Richards has a cap of 21 and projection of 24. 22 range, everybody's kind of blah until we get up to Keegan Murray, which it's not even that this is a great projection. It's just wild to me that Keegan Murray's his cap has come all the way down to 22. I was looking at his recent game weeks, and he had like a 58, and it's surrounded by like a bunch of 18s. He's been playing pretty bad basketball, but they do have 2 games this game week. If Sabonis does sit, he's going to take a ton of shots probably. Andrew Nembhard, cap of 22, the projection of 27. You got Grant Williams, speaking of big dick guys, both in attitude and in Snapchat. Shout out to Batman. We saw as Robin. And then Kelly Olynyk, Jeremy Sohan. Guys, I want you guys to know.
Is he the president or the
vice president?
Player? Oh, okay. I thought we were seeing the vice president.
I want you to know I forgot all about that until I just saw his name, and all of those were just off the dome. Shout out Grant Williams dome. All right, let's keep going. 23, we see Darius Garland, the aforementioned Darius Garland, who this is with Donovan Mitchell playing. This was before we knew he had a Q tag. So if Donovan sits, honestly, you could put this up to like 38 or 40. He easily becomes the best play, in my opinion. Trey Murphy, Jalen Suggs are all fine in there. Move up to 25. You see Scoot, Paul Reed, Rui Hashimura, Marvin Bagley, all solid plays. 26 range, Michael Porter Jr. for the 9th week in a row projects really well and will disappoint you. Keontae George still playing pretty good ball. And in the 28 range, you got Malik. Jesus, I was looking at Jonas and Monk. Malik Monk and Jonas Valanciunas both project solid. Walker Kessler as well. 29, you see Hartenstein is back in action. Derek White, Drew Holiday. And then the 30 range, you got IQ, who continues to project really well and also underperforms. Miles Turner, Buddy Hield. So this range is a little bit more enticing, right? I don't know. TST, what about you in the 20 to 30? How you feeling?
I mean, Garland Murray, you mentioned. Keontae George and Scoot Henderson are 2 players that I'm just kind of watching for the second half of the season on, like tanking teams. They're going to be developing those guys. So I expect they already have started to ramp up, but going down till the end of the year. Scoot, probably too pricey for me to really recommend him from just buying him. But Keontae is probably a little more in that range. And then the last one would be Hartenstein. I think, Tibbs and Nick Nurse are on that minutes thing. So once his minutes are lifted, he's playing high amounts. And I think all this Precious talk will calm down.
Yeah, I think Precious is probably unplayable at this point. What about you, George?
In the 30 range, I like Walker Kessler this week. I say this, I feel like I like Walker Kessler every single week. I don't mind Zubac as the player. Like, I'm kind of big on the Clippers this week. I think quite a lot of their guys have got good L10s, is what I'll say. I don't mind Zubac this week, but the 3 games makes me think that, especially because he's just come back off that minutes restriction, they might try and take him a little bit easy as well. I should say Jordan Poole. Yeah, I'm not playing him in any of my lineups, and I'm ready for Miles Turner to hurt me for the 400th time this season. So yeah,
there you go. I love that. Also, just want to shout out, I shared it, but I just want to shout out my man Reese here, a VIP, Batman and Throbbing. Very good. Very good. That's what happens when you don't do it off the cuff and you get some time to think about it a little bit.
That's
really
A+.
Yeah, it's really good. Appreciate and I forget, was it Roy that said professional analysis right there? There you go. Listen, guys, this is what you come here for. All right, let's keep it moving here. Also, if you're just joining us, do me a favor, like the stream, subscribe to the channel, put hashtag Saboner into the chat for your shot at a giveaway. And then a real quick reminder too, if you haven't checked out our VIP, you can see it in the pin chat or in the show notes. We do a show that starts right after this one, right at 6:30. We use the optimizers, do some last minute questions. We're giving away a rare tier Freddie Van Fleet today. It also gets you early access to value hunting, a bunch of fun stuff. So go check that out if you haven't yet. Let's do 30 to 40, and then we will start pivoting towards some Q&As here as we get closer. Maybe we get some more injury news soon too. The 31 range, 31's pretty sweet actually. CJ, Bradley Beal, if he's good to go, Draymond, Mr. Kuminga, Jakob Poeltl, all solid plays here. 32, you got Sexton himself, Brooke Lopez are fine. Cade Cunningham's cap has come all the way down to 33. I feel like he could smash that projection. 2 games this game week. As long as he doesn't sit the second one, I feel comfortable with that. Evan Mobley's been playing awesome. The one thing I will just like caution people with Mobs is they've still been pretty they've been monitoring his minutes a little bit. So he's been super productive, but he's been doing it in like 26 to 28 minutes. So I still think Mobley's a good play, but just something to keep in mind. I don't think they're trying to rush him out there. Tobias is a good play. You see Paul George cap at 35, projection of 40. And then the big one, Jamal Murray, his cap has come all the way down to 36. He has a projection of 44. And then Halliburton, who still continues to be a great play, cap at 37, projection of 50. And then 38, you see Maxey has come down to 38, projection of 45. And then that's really it there. I mean, out of those, anybody like we haven't talked about yet in this like upper tier range that you were like trying to get to, George?
In shock news, I'm going to say Paul George. I think Paul George is another option that I think is really good this week at 35. I like Booker to a point and to a degree, just because he's got the 3 games, and normally when he plays against the Lakers, I think I kind of like playing him in that sense. But
you say
apart
Booker?
from that, yeah.
And they got the no. I was just gonna say that Dallas matchup. I always like. I mean, even though it seems like teams keep blowing each other out, I do like that they hate each other.
Yeah, I mean, he had a big game against Dallas as well earlier in the year, so I don't mind him as an option. I don't mind Banchero as well, just because there's the 3 games, but he has that sort of like injury illness that's over him. I know he's been cleared tonight, but that's pretty much where I'm sitting.
It's great comment by Reese. We've got all offense this weekend after all.
He's on fire. He's on fire right now.
I know, dude. Yeah, Reese is cooked. That's what the VIP gets. You immediately become funnier if you join VIP. TSC, what about you? Anybody we haven't talked about that you were kind of excited about?
No, I just would mention that Cade is playing Indiana right tonight. So
yeah, Cade's playing Indiana. So
that's
run and gun
makes him even more appealing. Mobley, I would roll the dice. I think the minute restriction for him and Garland was either lifted last game or they announced after last game that it will no longer. And speaking of minute limits, Hartenstein will have a minutes guideline if he plays per Coach Thibodeau. And all I can say about that is Coach Nurse is just punching air that he hasn't thought of. Can't we just put guidelines instead of limits?
Just say, we can just say anything. You can just say anything. Also, yeah, it was cocaine, Magnum. He says, how do Luka, Lively, and Kleber all have nose problems? They all got ruled in, but were questionable. What were they doing? Luka actually had a great story about how after they didn't have a mask for him after he broke his nose, and he wore Maxi Kleber's nose. I mean, his mask after he had broken his. He wore his nose. Yeah,
very sinister.
Yeah, there we go. Reese, the live after lock, the live after dark, excuse you, is actually underground comedy lessons. That's right. That's right. We're doing yes and improv. Okay, that's it for the projection stuff. Let's Normally I say we share our lineups, but you know what? We save the lineup sharing for the VIPs now. That's just what we do. We can dive into some questions here. I'll pull the projections back up in a second. I'm just going to refresh to see if we got any more of that sweet injury news from our friends over at Underdog. Maxi Kleber, speaking of that big old, Maxi, Lively, and Luca are all good to go. Dante DiVincenzo is going to play. Ben Simmons back in the starting lineup with Cam Thomas, Mikal Bridges, Dort. You know what I will actually say? One thing to pay attention to. I don't think you should go out of your way to play any of these guys. Just see how Brooklyn plays the next couple of games. I feel like they really hated Jacques Vaughn. I don't know if it's the French name or if it was how he was coaching. It did seem like they hated that man. And
do you think we're going to see some Ben Simmons performances then? Is that how far we're going?
No, I think it's the opposite. I think he liked Ben Simmons too much, and that's what they hated about him.
Yeah, ooh. I think we're going to get a 3-week run. Here we go. Ready? This is going to be a clippable thing. We're going to see Mikal Bridges surpass 50 Sorare fantasy points. I would say 3 times in the next 2 game weeks.
How many of them did you buy just before you said that?
I haven't bought any.
Oh, right. Okay.
I spent all my money in Indianapolis. What? There you go, Pablo. I just told you what happened. He's about to come back, baby. He's about to come back. There you go. All right. Let's remind the people. Let's do the giveaway thing one more time. Let's see how many we've got. Is that 111 or so? Yeah, 111 entrants. Love to see that out of 123 people watching. So like that stream, subscribe, hashtag Shaboner. We'll give away a rare tier card, and then go sign up. You look at the pinned tweet. Go sign up for some VIP action. All right, let's get into some of these. Let me share the projections one more time. Let me scroll up a little bit because I know I was bad. Who to MVP from LeBron, who we already know is ruled out tonight, Brunson and Kawhi. So George, I'll answer for you. It's Kawhi because it's a Clipper, right?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, on the nail. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I'm not even going to let TST answer. Let's go. Kawhi it is. All right, not financial advice. You're absolutely right. They hated that he was running the out. Yeah, okay. All right, here we go. For you, TST, Julia says pick 2 from Lori. Actually, you can pick one, and then I'll let George pick Paul George. All right, so pick 2 or pick one of Lori, Maxi, Jamal Murray, I'm going to say, or Dame.
Give me Maxi.
Maxi, and then George?
I'm going to go for Paul George here.
Paul George, there you go. Stumped whether to play Andre Drummond or CJ McCollum, and randomly any thought of J-Dub or PG-13. So
I think that's Draymond.
Oh, Draymond. What did I say? Drummond. Excuse me. Thank you. All right. Before we do, I mean, Paul George is the best play of those 4, right?
Yes. Draymond's a pretty good one, but Paul George for me.
Yeah. What about you, TST?
Sneaky McCollum if Ingram sits.
Yeah.
So
if Ingram
I would roll the dice with
Rich.
I'd roll the dice with McCollum over Draymond, I think. And then
I think I'd go Paul George, CJ, J-Dub, Draymond. I think Draymond comes in last for. Actually, I think I might take J-Dub over the first 2 as well. I love Jalen Williams. But we do Paul George the best play. Shindro says, yeah, Benedict Mathurin is absolutely projecting well. It's one of our favorite plays all around. Mirza, where are you from, baby? Are you Bosnia, Mirza? SGA, Maxi, Michael Porter Jr., Allen Grayson, or okay, hold on. I'm gonna just put this out there now. Mirza, it's not your fault. I already gave you some love. If you're giving me 2 options, you can take out the people that are in the same lineup. You know what I mean? So if Giannis is in both, you don't have to put Giannis's name twice. I know that's the Porter Jr. is the example in this one.
And Maxi.
Okay, but anyway. And Maxi. So we're saying, is it and Brown? Motherfucker. So it's SGA and Grayson or Giannis and Nembhard. There you go.
Ooh.
TSC, who are you taking?
Ooh. Well, if we don't get any Beal news, I'm going Giannis and Andrew Nembhard. If we get Beal news, switch to SGA and Grayson.
There you go. Okay, let's go. Jokic or AD for all offense? Who are you taking there? George, sorry.
I'd probably, even though I'd take Jokic. Is it that there's no turnovers? That's the thing on it, right? Or is it that
there's no blocks or steals? There's no blocks or steals.
There's no blocks or steals, but I can't remember if turnovers or anything on it. But yeah, I mean, Jokic would be the play for it anyway, I think.
Yeah. All right. This one's for both of you because we didn't really talk about Paul Reed or Rui too much. Rui with no
Paul
LeBron, I guess, gets a little bit of boost. I think this is actually pretty close. George, who are you taking between those two?
I would be taking Paul Reed. I think at 25 is kind of it's high for Paul Reed, but he has kind of shown that he can get in the high 30s. So I would be leaning on the Paul Reed sense, is what I would say.
Yeah. How do you feel, TST?
I like them both. I'm actually currently constructing the lineup with Rui in it, but I would, choosing out of the two, I would go Paul Reed.
Yeah, that's what I was curious to hear you say. I had Paul Reed too, but I do think this is pretty close. So that was a good question. Sabonis and Paul George, or Donovan Mitchell and J-Dub. George, this is Sabonis and PG, right?
Yes. Sabonis and PG, 100% Sabonis and PG.
Hallier's asking Dame or Şengün, and I was actually pretty alarmed that Dame's cap was as low as it was. I believe it's like 36, and I still, without a doubt, am playing Şengün. Is anybody taking Dame here? Cap at 36, projection at 37.8. Are we all Şengün? Yeah, it's crazy.
Yep.
Fetty is saying, why do you think Gafford's projection is too low, especially with the matchup against the Sun, where the bigs tend to perform? It's a great question, Fetty. I think it's because Lively is back in action. So is Maxi Kleber. So I think there might be a little bit of concern that everyone's going to play like 19 minutes. I will say Gafford has been super productive, and maybe Jason Kidd rides the hot hand. But I think there's just a little bit of concern that they're all going to play a little bit. So
they should play Gafford, but I don't think they will. I think they'll be better if they played him more, but I think they're going to give Lively too many minutes.
Yeah, and I listen, you know what my take will be, Fetty? When we get to the playoffs, stacking up on Gafford is going to be the way to go, because I do think those rotations get a little bit smaller, and I think Lively being a rookie will get shrunk a little bit. Jamie saying, with the Hartenstein nonsense, do I still play him or do I go to Walker Kessler? That's a pretty good one, because I mean Hartenstein still projects pretty well. Are either of you guys taking Walker Kessler?
Yeah, I like Walker Kessler this week. It's just it's a tough one. I think I would go for Walker Kessler.
Okay, all right. What about you, TST?
I think it is safer to go Kessler, but I'd still roll the dice with Hartenstein.
Yeah, I think I would too. But it is close. It is close. I need 2 players for 55 cap and contender. Who do you guys recommend? We haven't talked too much about, I mean, obviously Trey Mann. I mean, Trey Mann is the starting point, which is 16. And I can't do that math of 39. Is it 39 and 16? Yeah. Oh, dude, fucking wizard. I guess in the 39 range, it's probably Maxi. You go, oh no, I'm sorry, Hallie and Trey Mann's probably if you had rich money. But if you didn't have any rich money, you guys have any? You don't have to get it exactly to 55, but any sort of like high low, or are you trying to mid it? Anybody have a take here?
You could also do like a Mathurin Cade, I think would fit in there.
Oh, that's good. That's probably a little cheaper.
That's probably a little cheaper.
Yeah.
I think Trey Mann is like, if you're doing any champion lineup this week, Trey Mann kind of has to be there. And I'd go a little bit left field and look at Jamal Murray. 3 games.
Ooh, I love Jamal Murray.
That's where I'd go for that. So
love him. All right, Lewis is saying rank them. Miles Turner, no. Jakob Poeltl or Yusuf Nurkic. I don't. George, how do you feel about these guys?
I don't like any of those guys. Jakob Poeltl did well for me the week I brought him in, but I wouldn't be playing him here. It is Miles Turner. Is the one that you should pick up.
I know he's got a good matchup, but he is the devil. Ibrahim saying Jeremy Sohan, Eric Gordon, Royce O'Neal, and Paul Reed, rank them. I think it's just it's Paul Reed, and we can go to the next question, right?
Yeah.
No one's like, oh, dude, let me get Royce O'Neal in there. All right, K Preemy is saying Paul's, George's, and Reed versus Draymond and CJ. I love that question. George, who are you taking here?
Well, one of them has a clipper in it, so I'm going to go for the first one.
There you go. I figured. All right, TST Taylor says Chris Middleton or Jalen Green. Is Middleton back?
I didn't think he was. Is he? In any case,
no, he is projecting. So
he's projecting to roll his ankle inside 10 minutes as well, probably. So I'd go Jalen
Green. TST, where are you going there?
I guess Jalen Green, just because of the health.
Bradley Beal just got ruled out.
Ooh, Beal is out. I'm gonna have to adjust.
And he's unlikely to play Friday as well.
Oh, that's a bad scammy.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting one now. I like that for my Booker though. I got Booker in red champ, so
there you go. Kono Gary has a cap 12 with a projection of 16, I believe, or 18. 18. Let's see. Well, here you go. You can't make that swap anymore. Beal's out. Oh wait, no. You know what, Leon? I'm not even gonna answer that question because Beal was in. Earl Boykins or Muggsy Bogues? It's Muggsy Bogues forever. Good question, Strictly Sickly. Let's see, Malik Beasley or Trey Murphy III. I'm going to do some rapid fire to catch us up. Give me Trey Murphy III, Jordan Clarkson, Booker, Jamal Murray, and Oubre for all offense. Now with Bradley Beal out, Booker's going to do everything, so give me the Booker one. Curry or Tatum for MVP. All right, somebody else can answer this one. George, Curry or Tatum for MVP? Curry. We got TST for you. Paul George and Paul. Well, we get another one of the Pauls. Paul George and Paul Reed or De'Aaron Fox or Trey Mann. I think what's tough about this, we don't know that Sabonis news, you know?
I'm going second one.
Second one. There you go. Strictly wants us to scroll down. I want you to scroll down. Scroll up, bitch. All right. What else we got? Basley outscores Reed. All right. Relax, Josh. AD and Clarkson or Maxey and Paul George. There you go. I'll give you another one, George. What do you got there? Donovan Mitchell ruled out. Ooh, God! I need Sabonis to be ruled.
Is that not that record broken? Is that not that record broken where like underdog always are like every time he's questionable, he always plays or whatever, and then he tweets them back. That's that gone now.
Wait, did he tweet that today?
No, it's when he tweets that he's always in.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay.
But wait, that's bad for you, Mike.
Well, I also have 25% Donovan Mitchell.
Oh, okay. But that's not as good of a swap.
No. I totally
and it means and anyone who had Mitchell gets that swap over your Ingram because they drafted.
Yeah, you're right. That is bad. It also makes Garland an interesting swap, probably. Speaking of Garland, you know what I want to do? Let's do this right now together. Sorry, we're taking a break in action from the questions. You can like the stream, subscribe at #Saboner. Let's go over to the Sorare NBA site and let's go see what Darius Garland is looking like. Because I wonder
what I won a Darius Garland last week, actually, I think.
160. 73. There we go. Wow. That's popping. Wow, that's what a turn. What a turn of events. Also, Karis LeVert probably becomes a little interesting. Fun stuff. All right, I'm gonna miss a bunch of questions, and you know what? It's too late. I'm scrolling all the way to the bottom. Here's a good question. I'm starting with this question. If you've already asked, I missed the rest of them. I apologize. All right, here we go. Would you gamble Donovan Mitchell with 2 games? What do you guys think?
No, I wouldn't. Not with there's so many options this week. I wouldn't.
Is this illness? What's his cap at? Like, how good are we?
I don't think you're getting. I don't think it's like a crazy. It's cap of 54, so it's not like it's a steal or anything.
So, like, this is your MVP.
Yeah, I guess it always depends on what your options are, right?
Yeah.
Also, Leon, fucking sell that right now. $5.
Yeah, I'm tempted to sell this. I've been trying to buy Norm Powell season 2, and someone's just replied with it. I'm very tempted to sell this Garland because he's like $25 cheapest on his limit at the minute.
What was the Beal news? How long was he? They said he's not going to play forever.
He's unlikely. Yeah, he's out. He's out today and unlikely for tomorrow. So,
killing me.
Wow. What a turn of events. Yeah, Strus at 23 is interesting. He's been shooting. Man, I think was it Wozny Lombre? Somebody from the Ringer group chat had an insane stat where Strus is basically the worst 3-point shooter who takes the most threes. Which I was
sounds
like, okay.
about right.
Well,
yeah.
If this is Tobias or Jaylen Brown, give me Jaylen Brown.
I'd actually go to Bias this game week. He's got 3 games. He's projecting better than Brown, I think. Brown's cap is very low. It's like 33, and Harris is 38. So there is that scope for it. But I would just lean Tobias Harris for that. I'm playing him like all offense as well. So
yeah, all right. Royce O'Neal might be a play. Listen, here's the thing about Royce O'Neal. This is what Royce O'Neal does. He does
No,
this.
no. To be fair, I thought that as well, and then I saw him hit like 5 threes in a row, and I was I was the most shocked man in the history of the human world. So yeah.
No, I mean he's fine. He's fine, but I wouldn't be like, oh, I'm gonna get Royce O'Neal in there. I mean, just look at what he's done. He was on a team with the Brooklyn Nets. They wouldn't do anything. So whatever. He's fine. He's fine. Is Clay still worth it as like a human being? Yeah, I think he's a good guy. He's a good guy. Let's see what Clay projects this game week. He's got a cap of 29 with a projection of exactly 29. So he's exactly worth it. Booker or Fox. So, if Sabonis gets ruled out, De'Aaron Fox is going to be the entire offense along with Malik Monk against the San Antonio Spurs. But from Sabonis to go from questionable to doubtful to now questionable and going through shoot around, I feel like he's going to play, right?
He's playing.
So I would go Booker. I would go Booker over Fox. All right, let's see. Bobby's saying Mikal Bridges and Jaylen Brown or KD and Eric Gordon. What would you do there, George?
Well, I had some inside information earlier that because Jacques Vaughn actually left the Brooklyn Nets, Mikal Bridges is getting 50 points on Sorare for like the next 3 games going. So I would have to go for the Mikal Bridges and Jaylen Brown one. Yeah.
Lock and load, baby. This is for you, TSD. Clarkson and Booker or Oobs and Jamal Murray?
Give me Uber and Jamal Murray.
The Oobs. Okay, Oobs and Jamal. I'll do this one. 80 or Tatum for all offense. Give me Tatum only because like 80 is probably a higher fantasy score, but he's going to get you like 4 blocks. That's part of the reason. Here we go, George. Christopher Scott. What's up, Chris? He's a Miles Turner and Jordan Hawkins. Or Cade Cunningham and Troy Brown Jr. Interesting. You're taking Detroit together. And if you ever take teammates from the Detroit Pistons.
Detroit basketball! Detroit basketball! Detroit!
I forgot Cade was in there, so I let that run a little bit longer. I forget who. George, I asked you, right?
Yeah, I'd take Turner and Hawkins.
Turner and Hawkins. George, I'm going to go back to you because I know you're the Jackson Hayes whisperer. Is Jackson Hayes a play with 3 games?
I tell you what. Of all of the Jackson Hayes stuff, he helped me win a super rare, so he's always staying there now. He won me my first super rare. So at 19, no, he's not a play. Is the issue? He's been so good recently. His cap is now like at a silly level where you're like, okay, I need like 10 games to slowly chip him back down to like the 9 mark, and then we can talk about him.
I almost went out and got him today because I assumed his cap was 15, and I was like, "There's no way AD plays all 3 games." But yeah. I didn't get him. All right, I'm going to do the next 2 just to pick up the pace here. Asar Thompson, Wendell Carter, and Nick Richards. Give me Big Dick Nick Rich, and then Booker and Trey Mann. If you can afford Trey Mann, Tom Walker, which I'm sure you can because you are a VIP that has won 2 rare tier cards in consecutive weeks, I would go Booker and Trey Mann over Maxine Clarkson. Hartenstein is playing, but his minutes are being monitored, but they're being monitored by Tom Thibodeau. So who the fuck knows what that means? All right, so let's talk about Bruno Fernandez. It sounds like Clint Capella is going to be back tomorrow night, but it's just going to play a little bit. And Onyeka Okongwu is going to be out indefinitely. So we're basically playing Bruno for the same role that we were already playing Bruno for, right? Because we were playing him as the backup to Onyeka. His cap has come up to, why is he not? John. Bruno's cap is he's got a cap at 13 with a projection of 19. Are you guys still messing with Bruno here?
Yeah.
It's probably not like holy shit, I gotta get Bruno in there, but he's a solid play. George, we got SGA or Jokic. Who are you taking for your top jog?
SGA.
All right. Sneap's good question. Says Zach LaVine, Tyrese Halliburton, or Doug McDermott. So you know it's Dougie McBuckets. It's Halliburton. TST, choose 2 for Jow. He says CJ McCollum, Cade, Cunningham. Oh, I like that he goes by Vliet. Vliet or Cam Thomas. Choose 2 of those.
Cade, CJ or Cam Thomas. CJ.
Yeah, those are the 2 I would pick too. Steve said Luke Cornett, LeJean McCoy, or Boyan. Steve's is on one. Justin Holiday, Ousmane Dieng. Oh my God, now we're digging deep, baby. I love So Rare. Justin Holiday has a cap of 8 and a projection of 0. Let me just double check this. Yeah, that's 0. And then so it's the other one It's Ousmane Dieng, who also might have a projection of 0. No, he's got a projection of 5. It's Dieng. He's 500% better. Stewart or Eubanks? Give me Stewart in a fight. Thoughts about Grace now without Bradley Beal? Do you guys have do either of you have a Suns take with no Bradley Beal, or is it just like give me more Devin Booker?
I think Grayson Allen is playable now.
Yeah.
I think if you look at it from the really complex situation, right, and you have to take a step back, you think about how this ball's going to get moved around. I can only see 4x usage rate for Bol. That's the only way I can see this happening.
Fire Bol. Wait, hold on, Tom. Did I mistake? Wait, was it Reese that won back-to-back rare tier cards? I'm sorry, Tom. I thought maybe I'm just willing this into existence. You're gonna win the Freddie Van Fleet today, baby. Paul George or Halliburton. Now this is a real test of wills. George, who are you taking here?
I'm going to die on this hill. Okay, I've said it for 45 minutes now. I'm going to die on the hill. It's Paul George, baby. Here we go. Yeah, there we go.
TSC, do you have any weird won the skills challenge, should have won the MVP, but they gave it to Dame instead takes? Do they do anything the week after?
No, there's no precedence for that, but that doesn't mean it's not going to start this year.
There you go. I would lean Hallie, but I'm with George that I love your flag plant is cemented into the ground that I'm almost on board now.
It's the don't back down. It's the double down moment. That's what it is. It's the double down.
I like it. Goodwin or Fournier, just God bless you, ZM. I guess it's Fournier, but I don't know. All right, Trent's saying the best play of 24. I already have Mann, Garland. Ooh, you already have Mann, Garland, and Clarkson? You're building a banger over there, Trent. So according to projections, here's what we're seeing the best plays. I think it's going to be Keegan Murray with a cap of 22 and a projection of 31. You already said you have Darius Garland. Did you say you had Murphy too? Trey Murphy's fine. Is there anybody you guys really like in this range? In the I guess Benedict Matherin's another one. Anybody that you're Matherin?
The other one I'd throw out besides the Keegan Murray.
All right, here we go. All right, George, you're gonna pick one of these. We kind of did one similar to this, but I'm gonna narrow it down. You're not really a big fan of Pirtle. You picked Kessler over Hartenstein, so just tell me. But you did like Turner, Kessler, Turner, or Kuminga. Who are you taking there, George?
I think I'll go for Turner and just wait for him to crush my heart yet again. So that's that. Yeah. Again, we're gonna go heart on sleeve and just watch Miles Turner just laugh at me for it. So yeah.
All right, I'm with you. Trey Mann is still the best value. Cap 16 projects over 30, so that's the guy. Suggs or Trey Murphy, D4. Give me Trey Murphy. Under any circumstances, you play Jordan Poole this game week. Billy. Listen, I'm sorry, Billy Jackson. Who? I'm playing Jordan Peele. I'm playing Jordan Poole. I wish I was playing Jordan Peele. I love
that's got to be a Jordan Poole clip in there now. I think that's where it is. We need some updated drops. I think that's the Jordan Poole one that needs to go in there.
Yeah.
We need Rock and Roll to come out of retirement. That's before your time, George. You don't even know who Rock and Roll is, but he did the PJ Washington video. But yeah, I'm playing Jordan Poole this game week, but I hate it. It's just that his cap's man, he sucks. He's so bad at basketball. All right, Levi said, would you say Tatum is good enough for a rare champion MVP? Oh, every week. All right, this is a fun. Oh man, Levi, I wish you were an VIP. I think this would be a good after dark combo. So I think when you talk about the clear cut MVPs each and every week, it's obviously Giannis, Luka, Jokic. I feel Embiid when he was playing, and then the next tier you see AD, SGA, Tatum. Would you put Tatum in that not 1A but one? It's not even 1A and 1B. It's probably in the second tier. Is that where you guys would have
1 and 2 instead of 1A 1B? We could say 1 and 2.
Yeah, we can go to 1.
It put him second tier. Yeah, I would.
So second tier where, yeah. So I mean, but you put him in the AD SGA category.
Yeah, I would argue maybe that AD could creep up into that first one.
Yeah, it's tough, Levi. They just have too many options. What's nice about AD is it's not like he's battling for usage or anything. It's either him or LeBron. All right, Paul's saying Scotty Barnes or Maxey. They project very close. George, do you have a lean between these two?
Scotty Barnes, every time I go for Scotty Barnes, he always decides that in the first half of a game, he wants to just score 2 points instead of like the 15, I'd imagine. So I'm going to go for
straight
Tyrese
up dog
Maxey.
shit. Yeah, oh God, Scotty Barnes says I've had so many lineups that are like, wow, you could win. You want to do podium? And Scotty Barnes is like, I'll show you a podium. Here's a dookie. He's been so bad. Thoughts on Jared Allen now? I like that you said now. Thoughts on Jared Allen now? I know you said some shitty stuff about him before. What are your thoughts on him now? He's gonna cap 36 and a projection of 36. He's fine. Garland or Keegan? Give me Garland. Fox or Barnes? Give me Fox. Here we go. This is for UTSD. Charles says high stakes poker here. Rashawn Holmes or Baji?
Jesus Christ. Dude,
Baji sucks, but at least he
sucks
plays,
so
right?
bad, man. Yeah, I guess you got to roll with him.
Pablo, I'm sorry, dude. I didn't play this drop, but in case you do come at me in a lawsuit or anything, this is a reminder. None of this is financial advice. Do what you love what you do. Something like that, right? All right, we only have a few minutes left, and then we're going to head over to our Live After Dark show. Look at this beautiful thumbnail we got for it, too. So if you haven't signed up, the link is highlighted here. You can find it in the show notes or in the pinned chat. But we're going to jump over there. We'll go over our lineups. We'll use the optimizer to check that out as well. If you sign up for the So Rare program, we give away a rare tier card at every Live After Dark, and there's only like 35 of you, so there's a better chance. Today, it's the Fred Van Fleet. You also get the Value Hunting Alpha before that episode goes out. And then starting on Monday, we'll have a new MVP show just for the VIPs as well. So if that's something you're into, come on over. Come on over, baby. So we're going to start that here in just a second. Also, just a reminder, if you haven't done it yet, like the stream, subscribe to the channel, put hashtag Saboner into the chat, and that qualifies you. We got 128 entrants with 135 of you here. So go do that. And then also our guy Weisberg, I don't know what this is in response to. Maybe it's playback, but he's doing playback.tv/team hold. You can find a link to that. They're going to be watching some hoops tonight together. There's like a live chat like this while they share screen. You can watch the game, so go check that out as well. He didn't preface that Miles Bridges with Miles Bridges is a piece of shit. That is true. Anything else here? Begging that this Trey Mann play doesn't turn out like Thad Young. All right, relax. Listen, dude, I'm sorry about the Thad Young thing. Okay. Everybody's foolishly buying him. You really don't rate Goodwin. He's a good. No, listen, Magnum, I've talked about Goodwin. I do like Jordan Goodwin. I'm just not convinced he's going to play a ton of minutes. If he does, he does. So if you want to rock with him, do it. Any last minute takes we need to fire off before we get out of here? No? TST, What do you have to plug? You got any like movies? Ingram Rule Down. Baby, Sabone Bone. Although no, that's probably not going to be good for me. But
no, you got screwed by the Donovan Mitchell
thing.
Yeah.
It's brutal. TST. Any movies you need to plug?
This is kind of like an anti-plug. Recently watched Griselda on Netflix, and
it starts off so good and it's so bad, right?
Yeah.
No, but like it's not even the quality. The show's fine, I guess. Like it's average, I would say. But like if you know her actual story, like that's actually like all bullshit. And she was just like a straight thug from the beginning. Apparently, right. She like murdered someone when she was 11. So like all this shit where she's like, oh, I don't know if I'm gonna do it. She was just always like murder them. And she was like the most feared person. She like taught Pablo Escobar and shit. She was like the cartel person people were afraid of, not the other way around. And they made her like try to be like likable and all of that shit for like because it was a show. So if you haven't watched like Cocaine Cowboys and stuff, like they're not great documentaries or anything, but they like tell her real story and have real people just talking about how like feared she was. So
I love this, dude. I love how passionate you are about this. This is good, man. This is good. George, I just dropped your link in the chat. Everybody go check out the Swingman Pod as they approach 1K, baby. You got a big video coming out. Anything else you need to plug?
No, I dropped I just dropped the link to the teaser. No, there's nothing I need to plug because I'm absolutely there's nothing. No, there's nothing. If anyone wants a Darius Garland, I have a season 2 one of him for sale because his price has just gone crazy.
No, you can't plug sales, George.
Well, not financial advice thing we've just done. So I'm going to plug the sale. Yeah, I'm going to plug the sale. No, that's about it really. So yeah.
That's great. We have no live before lock tomorrow since there's no lock. So come join the NBA bit in the morning. I might fire up like a underdog related thing in the afternoon if that's your fancy. Go check that out. But I also went to All-Star Game weekend thanks to Sorare. I got to meet all the VIPs, which I'm sure I'll talk about in our VIP show here in a minute. Again, go sign up for VIP if you haven't done that yet. Come hang out. We're going to start that in just a few minutes. But yeah, last chance, like the stream, subscribe, #Saboner. Let's give this bad boy away. Appreciate everybody tuning in. If you win, shoot me a DM either on Twitter or in the Discord. You can find me on Twitter at Mike Zakarian or at Team Hold. NFT. It's going to Patrick Obermeyer.
Whoa.
Obermeyer, let's go, baby. Congrats to Patrick. Congrats to Patrick. All right, if you're a VIP, we're going to fire up this stream here in just a second. And appreciate everybody for hanging out, for TST, for George. Everybody go watch George's video tomorrow. He worked hard on that, and you get both French and America. What else could you want? Especially with it coming from a British person. All right, thanks for tuning in. Shout out Grant Williams. We're out.